Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Greg. This is going to be the first of a few videos where I'll be breaking down a pig solely with the idea of making charcuterie and sausage in mind. Not making any pork chops. I'm just curing whole muscles, making salamis and sausages. This video, I'll be starting with the front shoulder. Let's get going. Alright folks, I don't butcher animals very often. I've only done this a few times. I refer to this book to help me. It's a great book. You can figure anything out if you just follow the steps. If you had enough time, you could probably figure out all the steps it took to get yourself to the moon. This here, oh God, this is a heavy one. So here's the shoulder, head was here, rest of the body's here. This is the jowl. I'm gonna start by just removing the jowl and this leg. Make this whole thing a little smaller to deal with. Some people would just cut this right here and have part of this leg on the picnic, but I'm not a huge fan of the picnic ham, and I'd rather have a really large ham hock, or actually a shank. The hock is down here. I'm just gonna give this, let's see, where's the joint? Actually coming off pretty quick, not too bad. Oh yeah. All right, leg off. Okay. Now, gonna remove this jowl. I'm gonna say is basically here. Now I'm going to remove this gland. I don't know if you can see that. The salivatory gland, the salivation gland. That's this. Be careful not to break it. Just get it out of there. And any really weird looking stuff, just trim that off too. Alright, looking pretty good. Got my jowl. Split the shoulder. Saw across the shoulder. Find where the small first rib connects to the spine. Saw across the ribs at that point. Then use your breaking knife to cut through the underlying muscle down to the scapula. That's the small first rib right there. Find where that connects to the spine. Well, this is the spine. Last time I did this, I used a sawzall. It worked, but I'm going to use a hacksaw this time. It'll be a little slower than the sawzall, but much more control. I think we're through. Not quite, almost. There we go. Now we're through. Think. Oh yeah, we're through. Okay, I feel the scapula. Hear that? That's the scapula. Now we just finished the cut. All right. Got a big old Boston butt, giant Boston butt, and a picnic ham. Easy enough. That's my Boston butt. As I go through it, what I'm doing with this piece is I want this neck muscle. This one right here. This little section here is my copa. That's the loin side of it. This is the head side of it. And this muscle grows as it gets up here, and this muscle shrinks. And that's what my capocollo is made out of right there. So all the rest of this is all going to salami. Salami and sausage. Hopefully as much of it as possible salami. What I have here is the Boston butt part of the shoulder. Here's the blade bone. This is where the head was. Here's the ribs. So you can see, oh gosh, pretty heavy. This is the top. This is where the head was. Down here is where I got the picnic ham off. I separated the picnic ham from the top part. Now I want to get the copa muscle out. And the copa muscle is right, it's actually a group of muscles. Uh-oh, I gotta get a new glove. As I was saying, copa is not a muscle, it's a group of muscles underneath these feather bones, the spine. So first thing I need to do is separate, I'm gonna separate this rib. Would be a little easier if I were right-handed, but trying to do this for the camera. Usually I would start up here. I will start up there, I'll just work my way this way. This is a little bit, just tiny bit frozen. Not really frozen all the way. It's easier to work with if it's a little frozen, but I might have it a little more frozen than I need it to be. Let's see. Get any separation there at all. Alright, move over to the feather bones, which I'm going to do one at a time. Yeah, that's a little more frozen than I'd like. And I'll just deal with these feather bones individually, one at a time, slicing up to the spine here. Trace this around, back down to those ribs. That should start separating that. Just need a little more separation on my feather bone side. Now you can see this comes off. You just keep working your way down. Whenever you can, use gravity and the weight of the meat to help you. Always going to make it a little easier. So I have that rib off. You can see where this group of muscles is right here. See, I have more cap fat than I'm gonna need. Get these little buttons out of here because we don't want those accidentally. So this right here is where this group of muscles starts. By going from here, I should be able to get down to it. I can start separating that seam. I'll just aid it with my knife a little bit and then work it again with my hand. There we go. Just use the tip of my knife to help me. And as always, gravity. Use gravity as your friend where you can. And use the seam butchery to guide you. You can see how these separate. These are starting to separate on their own. I'm just helping them out. Where I can't quite help with my fingertips, just using the tip of my knife to help make that separation. I think I'm running into the tip of the blade here. Yep, I'm running into the blade right here. This piece right here, this is what they call the money muscle in competition barbecue. That piece right up against the head. Okay. And you can see right in here, I'll show you when I get it separated, that it's actually attached to this blade bone. Okay, not the prettiest job. You can see, do have quite a bit of fat. I'm going to take some of that down, save that for salamis, sausages. I want to leave some, but I don't need that much. Oops, might have gone a little bit shallow there. Didn't mean to scalp it. Clean up some of these pieces I might have left a little messy by my butchering job. Add that to the sausage grind. Gonna cut this flap off to kind of even out my copa shape. Even out this end. I'll even out the other end. And like I said, I'll just clean up any of these flaps that I made in my butchering job. Add that to my sausage grind. It's looking okay. Pretty happy with that. Cut back a little more. It's just a little blood from where the pig was shot. Happens. I think that's okay. That's going to be a nice copa right there. See, if I'd had it cut a little farther back, I'd have a little more of the rib part going on, the loin part going on, but all in all, this is going to be delicious. Set that aside. Now these bigger pieces I'll leave as trim for salami or sausage. The smaller stuff definitely go into sausage grind. I add the fattier part to sausage grind too. I like to try to get my lean to fat pretty even, pretty separate when I make salami. Don't worry about it quite as much when I'm making sausage. Go put this away. Clean out that blade bone. First, let me show you here. This blade bone comes right out here. So that copa was right here. It's just attached to this blade bone down here, which is attached to this. This is one big flat blade, kind of like the shoulder blade. It's a little different anatomically. Pigs are a little different than we are, but it's how I can most closely relate it though. So anyway, I'm going to keep trimming. I'm going to cut this out, just end up with some pork butt for salami or sausage. I'm going to attempt to do a better job on this than the other. This is the butt. This is above the picnic ham. Okay, it's the outside. Here's the head. This is where the rest of the body was. This is the upper shoulder. The lower leg was right down here. Man, it's pretty heavy. What I want to do with this is I want to remove the copa muscle, which is this under the feather bones and the spine. This piece right here. You can see on this side, that's where the loin starts. And up here is we got this beautiful collection of muscles that's all held together by layers of fat. It really gives the copa a look like nothing else. First thing I'm going to do is just cut along these ribs. I got to loosen that. Really should have had them cut off already, I believe, if I look in the book. See why the butchers sometimes wear the chain. Okay, now the feather bones. Just want to cut in between them. Up to the spine. Now we got to get along this spine, under it, and along this side, around and under. Can I get around it all over here?
that one in. I'm going to go around this bone, close to it as I can. Get through these ribs. I think I'm through the ribs right till like right here. Gonna follow this down. Guess I could take a little bit of that off just to see the edge of the bone better. Sausage grind anyway. Now I can really get to the edge of this bone. All right, I'm getting there. All right, pretty much there now. All right. Set that aside to clean up for sausage and whatnot. This is the copa right here. You can see this pattern of muscles. And over on this side, it's like the loin. Man, it's got some serious fat in there. I think I'm just gonna come right across this. It's your money muscle right there. Before I do that though, I'm gonna take some of this fat. I definitely don't need all that fat. Oh my gosh, so much fat. Alright, that's looking pretty good. That's a big pocket of fat right there. Carve that out, but I don't really want to. Alright, there's my copa. And this, I'm just going to cut this up into pieces to use on salamis and sausage. Yeah, I'm gonna go put that away and just cut this up. I'm just gonna be cutting this picnic roast up for sausage and salami because, you know, it's kind of like the white meat of pork. It's just got a lot of pork. I don't think that's the cut I want. I don't need to eat that cut.